In this video, what we're going to do is create an empty C++ project, add existing code files, then we're going to set the properties of the project to include DirectX. So to start with, if we say File, New Project, and then what we want to do is make sure that we select Other Languages, Visual C++, and Empty Project. Okay, and then we'll enter a suitable name. Now, pay particular attention to where the location is, because that's important as to when you go to look for your code. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to that. So I've simply called this Space Rockets. It's an empty project, and if we click OK, it should go away and generate some files for us, folders in this Solution Explorer that we see here. Now that the structure's been created for us, you can see that we've got header files, resource files, and source files. Now what we're going to do is we're basically going to add existing files that you've downloaded from GCU Learn into this project, but we have to be very, very careful how we do this, simply because when we create the project and we build and we run it, any image files have to be in the right location. Otherwise DirectX won't find those image files and you'll get an error and it will break. So what I suggest that you do is locate the folder that you opened to download and unzipped your files into, and what we'll do is we'll actually copy those files, and I'll show you what to do in a second. So here's the unzipped folder that we have here, and what we're going to do is highlight the first one, go to the last one, click, and everything should be highlighted. And now what we're going to do is copy that. So we're going to say Control C, and now we're going to go back to Visual Studio and we're going to paste these files in, and I'll show you what to do. Okay, back at Visual Studio with the files already copied, if we right click and then say Add and then Existing Item, it'll open up the correct location for where the files should be. And at this point in this area here where you can see the mouse, if we right click and we say paste, it will paste in all of these files. Okay, now what to do is deselect the images folder. Okay, so just hold your control key down and click on images to deselect it, and then say add. And at this point all your files should be added in the correct place in the Solution Explorer. Okay, and that's them all in. So if we double click on main, we should see all the code. Okay. Now you'll notice that we've got a number of errors, and if we scan down a wee bit here, you'll see that on line 25 D3D X vector 2 has got a red squiggly line underneath it, and basically that's because although we have included the DirectX files by using the hash include statement inside the game constants.h, it can't actually find it. It doesn't know where that is. So what we have to do is go into Project, Properties, and inside here we have to go to Configuration Properties, VC++ Directories, and in there we have to set the include directory and the library directory. So if we do this first, click Edit, and in here if we click New Line and then the 000 so that we can find what we're looking for. Now it'll default into the project directory. That's okay, but what we'll need to do is navigate to where the Windows DirectX SDK is. Now on this machine here, it's basically, and this computer here, it's basically on drive C, program files x86, and then if you scroll down you should be able to find it, Microsoft DirectX SDK. And when we come in here we can see that there are a number of different subfolders. Now the machines in the lab, especially in M627, it won't necessarily be in that location. For M627 in the current setup, if you go to Bootcamp and then Apps and have a look there, you should find it underneath the Apps folder. Okay, but because we are setting the include file, then what we want to do is click on include and then click select folder. Now don't double click, just click select folder, and that will have included that path, so we can say OK to that. Now we want to set the library directories, so again we click on that, same procedure as before, edit, back in here, click the three arrows, takes us to the same place, so we have to go back to computer, C, program files, x86, Microsoft DirectX, and this time it's the library. Now we do want to double click this one because we want that x86 folder, and then say select and OK. Now that's us set up the directories so that when it compiles it can successfully see it, and IntelliSense etc. can see it now as well. But what we need to also do is set up the linker. Okay, and if we go into input, and we're going to add additional dependencies. Okay, and it's at this point what we're going to do is we're going to tell it which libraries that it's to link to, and these are d3d9.lib, then hit return, and then say d3dx9.lib, and then we'll say OK, and that will add it to the list of additional dependencies that it already has. Okay, and then we go to general, additional library directories, and say edit, and again we locate the DirectX folder, and because it's the libraries we want the x86 folder again, so we say OK, and that should be pointing to all the right places. Okay, and now we can say apply. Okay, now that we've done that, if we click OK and return, we should see that those errors are gone, and that the wee squiggly lines underneath here are also gone. So we should now be able to successfully build this. You'll note the build started, and we'll see what happens in a wee second. And you can see at the bottom there that the build has succeeded. Okay, we should be ready then just to click the debug button, and hopefully everything should run. And there you are, you can see there's your Space Rockets program, and the rocket moves. Okay, so we'll just stop that there, and that's us, we've done that. Okay.